Hello and welcome to Dylan and Rose Sports. I am your host, as always, Dylan Sanders. You can find me on Twitter at Dilly Sanders. Joining me today is Ross Jackson. As always, you can find him on Twitter at Ross Jackson Nola. I don't know, Ross. Here's a little insight for the people, for the listeners. I don't know if they've put this together, but the title of the show is called Dylan and Ross Save Sports.
Right.
And my name is Dylan and your name is Ross, and we are here together daily. So we're doing this show. So it's named after the fact that me and you do the show.
Uh-huh.
That's just
Can I be honest with you?
What?
I did not know that.
Oh, and Ross, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
You're using the wrong microphone.
Oh no. Rookie move. I'm going to keep talking while I switch over to the microphone right now.
And it is not noticeable at all. I'm joking. It is very noticeable. It's very noticeable that you're using a different microphone now. And I am rocking all of my LSU championships.
You really are. You're
I got
all over
the SEC
LSU
championships. I got my national championship. I'm all LSU'd out, Ross, and that is because we lost a player today.
So are you trying to make yourself feel better here?
I take a sip out of my LSU cup that I didn't take a sip out of. We lost. So the quarterback room at LSU. Let's just get into the sports talk today.
Yeah, absolutely.
The quarterback room at LSU is a little full, if you don't know. Full of 4 players who could be starting. And then, Ross, next year, we have a 5-star and a 4-star coming in.
Woof.
And then the year after that, they're trying to get Arch Manning.
Right.
So it's just going to be a revolving door, a real bloodbath the next couple of years. But this year in particular, we lost the first quarterback. TJ Finley decided to go. It's not surprising, but it's disappointing because I really wanted him to succeed here.
Right. I completely agree. I mean, when we talked about him and Max Johnson, the other quarterback that got an opportunity after Miles Brennan was hurt last year, we were very excited about TJ Finley. It didn't necessarily work out as quickly as you'd hope with him, but it seemed like he had enough tools where he'd be able to develop a little bit. But things did sort of seem to lean toward Max Johnson a little bit later on in the season. And of course, Miles Brennan is coming back next year as well anyway. And then, as you mentioned, you have those 4-stars, 5-stars coming down the road and potentially even Arch Manning. There's just not really a gap in sight where maybe TJ Finley felt like he could have really become the starter in the near future before he graduated, like while he still had eligibility to play.
But he said that in the past 3 hours, his phone he's gotten over 200 texts. From coaches and stuff. People want him, and people want him. Power 5 schools have reached out to him, and they want him to start week 1.
That's good.
Of the season.
And he should. I mean, like they should, and he should be getting those opportunities.
And I really feel bad for her. Like people understand, Max Johnson did get a lot easier of a job.
Yeah.
TJ Finley got thrown into the fire immediately after Miles Brennan in the SEC.
Right.
I mean, Max Johnson at least got basically a full season to really develop before he started the end of the year.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like, it's just an unfortunate casualty of all of this. But nobody at LSU has ill will towards TJ Finley, and everybody is wishing for the best.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, I'll be rooting for him wherever he ends up.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
as it's mentioned in the spring game, all 4 of the quarterbacks were in the LSU quarterback room this year could end up on NFL rosters in the future.
Oh yeah. Any and all of them like could still do that. Absolutely.
I'd be least surprised if Max Johnson made a position switch in the NFL just because of the fact that, left-handers don't really have the best history
right
in the NFL.
Where could you see him switching positions to?
Well, his brother is a 5-star tight end, 4-star tight end. And, he kind of has that build if he bulked up a little bit, maybe like a slot receiver or something.
Mm-hmm. See that? Let's see, 6'1", and he is.
Oh, is he only 6'1"?
No, he's 6'4". Sorry, 6'4", 216 at the moment. So bulk up a little bit, and he'll get there.
He's got the athleticism; he could play.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe NFL teams want him. But it's really hard to be a backup left-handed quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah,
because you have to switch everything.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to look at his brothers, Jake Johnson. I believe that's the tight end. Yeah, he's the tight end.
LSU commit.
Mm-hmm. And he's also got Joshua Johnson, who I think has a PhD. He's doing something completely different.
And there's also Johnson & Johnson, the vaccine.
the vaccine, which go and get your vaccines. That's right. Wide receiver Jordan Johnson, I don't think is the right one, but 5-star wide receiver Jordan Johnson announced his transfer to Notre Dame 2 days ago. So he's got a football family. I mean, they're all out there.
I mean, his dad,
of course, his dad was Brad Johnson, right?
It was Brad Johnson. So
right.
They've got football blood.
Yeah.
I could see Max Johnson making the position switch to like nose tackle in the NFL, bulked up a little bit.
The Caden Ellis route, just play every position that you can wherever. Well, speaking of quarterbacks changing positions, Dylan, during the NFL draft, it kind of got buried because, of course, it was during the NFL draft. But a familiar name, Tim Tebow, who hasn't been in the NFL for some time. Never heard of him at all, Tim Tebow?
Nope, not a single once.
Wow. Well, anyway, there's this guy, Tim Tebow, who was widely
considered. Is he related to Tim Tebow?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, he's so related to that Tim Tebow that he is that Tim Tebow, who, of course, was considered one of the greatest college football quarterbacks. Ended up going into the NFL, lighting the NFL on fire for a little while, winning a playoff game, and then eventually getting replaced by Peyton Manning. Not a bad person for your legacy, right, to be replaced by. But then ended up falling out of the NFL altogether. Played a little bit of minor league baseball, played a little bit of baseball, and then now got a tryout with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end, basically saying, "Hey, Urban Meyer, let me come through. I'll change positions if it means I get to play on your team." And he tried out as a tight end. Do you think it's going to work out? You think we're going to see Tim Tebow back in the NFL?
No.
Dang.
No. Sorry, Timothy. No, I really don't. He's old now, right? How old is he?
33. So not that old.
He's ancient.
He does have a pretty good, like, in terms of the athleticism and everything, like, that he tested with coming into the NFL. He does test well in comparison to other tight ends and everything, athletics-wise, but I don't know how much of that has been retained.
I mean, he at least has stayed in professional sports.
Right.
And
so he's in some shape.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
I don't really know that it's going to work out either, but I'm not going to lie, I kind of love to see it.
Oh,
even if it's just like a training camp invite or something, and he gets signed to come into camp, I would love to see it. I don't know. I like stories like that, and I think that would be a pretty cool story, pretty cool opportunity for him. I know Brandon would be really excited. Brandon Olson of Whole Nine Sports, he'd be very excited. He said on Locked On Gators the other day he'd buy a Tebow jersey.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know what he should do
What's that?
is just buy a Tebow Gator jersey. I don't think he has one.
That's weird that he doesn't have a Tebow Gators jersey.
I mean, he might. She's never mentioned it.
Yeah. Anyway, could be very interesting to see if Tebow ends up going back to the NFL as a tight end. We did see a recent position change. Actually, a player that signed with the New Orleans Saints, Sutton Smith, who came into the NFL as a linebacker out of Northern Illinois, if I remember correctly, and then ended up changing his position now to fullback. First of all, great for the brand, right? Fantastic.
Leaving a linebacker to play fullback.
Love it. Great for the brand. He's going to probably have to bulk up a little bit, which is interesting because he would have had to bulk up over at the linebacker position as well. So we'll see if he's able to do it, but could be an interesting path for Sutton Smith.
This guy looks like a fullback.
Yeah. He's got like a fullback frame, fullback build. I think he just needs the weight at this point. The other fullback on that roster, on that Saints roster, is Alex Arma, who's 6 foot, 244 pounds. At least he was coming into the NFL. I think he was actually, what's funny? Alex Arma was a linebacker at West Georgia. So he actually came in as a linebacker at 6 foot, 244 pounds and transitioned to fullback himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you're seeing Sutton Smith do the same thing, competing with Alex Arma on the same team.
What was I gonna say? I just had something in my mind. Oh, I was thinking of, speaking of fullbacks and like that kind of role. Brought me back to one of my favorite tweets I saw from a player during the draft, and I think a tweet that you're gonna love. It's from Garrett Dokes.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to sell himself to NFL teams. This was day 3, and he said, "Hey, I just got one thing to say. If you want your quarterback protected, draft me." Which, as a running back, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, you know what that is?
That's grit.
It's grit. It's great for the brain.
It's great for the brand, Ross.
It's great for the brain.
We love skill position players blocking. That is it's one of our things. I did a whole thing on Kawan Baker, and the first thing the first clip I posted was kickoff coverage, Ross.
Yep.
But hey, if that's his role to the NFL, if that's his road to the NFL, that's his road to the NFL. If that's
right.
The role he can carve out.
Yeah. That's why I look at like any of these like day 3 undrafted free agent selections. Like the quickest road to an NFL team in that scenario is playing special teams and showing that you can do that, even if it doesn't become your main responsibility. Just knowing that you have some special teams experience and special teams capabilities is going to help you find a roster spot, even if you end up spending most of your time as a receiver or as a fullback or as a running back or a linebacker or whatever, like in your skill position. If you show that you can also play special teams, that definitely helps. And particularly if you're an offensive skill position player who can block, like that gets you on the field for just about everything. So I'm all about it, man. I'm a big fan of it all.
Left tackle Charles Leno Jr., who was released by Chicago, will visit Washington on Monday.
That was such an interesting decision by Chicago. Let's get this young quarterback.
Interesting the right word?
Interesting is the diplomatic word. It's the diplomatic word, right? Like it's the wrong choice of like, oh, okay, well, we've got this rookie quarterback that we're all very excited about. Fan base. Everybody super stoked, super ready for, everything that we have going on and, feel like we're making the right moves, heading in the right direction. Let's release our starting left tackle now.
Yeah. I agree. It's weird. Weird choice. So I just saw this clip, Ross, of Grand Theft Auto, a mod. And I don't know how to explain it, but Anthony Davis is playing, and I think I just need to show it, Ross. I think I just need to show it because
Anthony Davis is playing the mod, or is Anthony Davis a part of the mod?
Anthony Davis is streaming Grand Theft Auto, playing what I assume is a mod, and it's really just odd. I don't know what else.
Odd mod.
I don't know what else to say about it, but I just need to show it.
Yep.
Off my leg, man.
Listen, man. Hey, face there.
Wait, let me put camera away. No
Nah,
witness.
you recording nigga getting executed, man, publicly. Send out this warning to the PD, man. We ain't playing with.
Anthony?
Yo, Anthony, you good? You good, Anthony?
You all right, bro?
He said, "You want to shoot him?" Yeah. He want what?
What is this all about?
I don't know. And why is Lamar Jackson there?
This is all very uncomfortable. All right, let's stop playing it.
Okay.
That's very uncomfortable. This is what Anthony Davis is doing instead of thanking New Orleans.
Yeah. What is Anthony Davis doing?
I don't know, man. That's uncomfortable.
That was real weirdo behavior from Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, I think, is one of the biggest weirdos in the NBA.
Is he more weird or weirder than Kawhi Leonard?
I don't know. Kawhi Leonard is putting out a song.
What?
I think he's dropping a song.
Like, what is he doing? Yodeling or something?
Kawhi Leonard. He's dropping NBA YoungBoy and Rod Wave will be releasing a new single together this Friday off Kawhi Leonard's Culture Jam project.
Oh, okay, so he's not an artist producing music. He's like supporting other artists.
Kawhi Leonard teases a new track called Everything Different featuring YoungBoy and Rod Wave. I still don't know if he's on it or if he's just releasing it.
Right.
J. Cole and Kawhi Leonard both announced albums today, and I'm not sure which one is more surprising.
I'll tell you what, they're both going to be terrible.
Again, Kawhi Leonard announces Culture Jam music project, teases NBA YoungBoy and Rod Wave collab. Is he?
This feels very Kawhi Leonard in that the marketing is not well done at all. Like this just like the mystery shroud under which this exists is very on brand for Kawhi Leonard.
It's just something that could uplift our community, and a portion of each stream is going to go to the Mamba and Mambacita Foundation. It's just something good for the community. You know what I mean? Yes,
that's great. I'm still unclear as to whose album this is and what's happening there. I'm very confused on that front. But you know what? Hey, cool. It'll be better than J. Cole's album.
Chill.
Whatever it is will be better than J. Cole's album.
Wait, okay. The song will arrive on streaming platforms. Okay, tonight. It drops tonight. Culture Jam project is just merging hip hop and basketball together. You know what I mean? Pretty much coming from our background, it goes hand in hand. I don't know what's going on with this album. Are you on it or not, Kawhi?
Kawhi needs some marketing help, yeah. Kawhi needs some big time marketing help. Yikes. All right, it's called Culture Jam.
Culture Jam.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break real quick. While we're on our break, we'll see if we can track more about this down so we can figure it out. So we'll be back here in just a moment. Dylan and Ross Day Sports Full Press coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Hit the input switch early and I swapped over to the other break very quickly. Yeah, no, it's not on. Like there's not even like a preview of it on.
It comes out tonight.
Yeah, it's just usually they'll.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm so confused at what's going on with this album. Is he on it? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I found our thing.
Cool. Albert Huggins.
I just want to know what's going on. I just want to. Someone needs to check on Anthony Davis.
Man, that's uncomfortable. Like
That,
that was on Twitter.
yeah.
And is anyone commenting on like, hey, this is a little uncomfortable and weird?
Yeah. Let me.
And did he share it?
No, someone else did, but he was streaming. Yeah, Tyler Tynes. Yo, what the hell? Kevin Harlan, Anthony Davis with no regard for human life.
Oh my goodness. It's just mad uncomfortable. That's all. Mad uncomfortable. I have to click all the images that have bridges in them.
Yeah, people are just confused.
Yeah, understandably so.
We got another Anthony Edwards gold quote.
Oh, I love it. I loves me some Anthony Edwards. What did you get for your mom for Mother's Day?
Or my brother's picking up something today. I forgot. We just always go in on something. I forgot. I usually just send money to whoever bought it and then call it a day.
All right, everybody, we are back. Dylan Ross City Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Dylan didn't get anything for his mom for Mother's Day.
That is not true.
Real scumbag behavior for
that
Dylan.
That is not true.
It is not true. It is not true. I can confirm it is not true. He got something for her. He just doesn't know what it is yet. So, Dylan, for the rest of today's show, we wanted to finish up looking at the draft classes and ranking them on our tier maker.
Before we get into this, I just want to share this Anthony just to bring up. I'm going to share this Anthony Edwards quote. Just it's just always gold because as someone mentioned, the best part about Anthony Edwards getting a good game is that you're going to get a good Anthony Edwards interview after the game. Anthony Edwards against in a loss against Memphis because of course Minnesota. Had 42 points on only 22 shots, 8 of 9 from 3, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. And after the game, Anthony Edwards said that he's going to Spain with Ricky Rubio and Juancho Hernan Gomez this summer. So he's going to learn fluent Spanish so he can know what those two are always talking about all the time.
I love it.
Man. All right, Ross. So let's get into these NFL draft class. Remember, we're grading based off of how much it excites us because none of us know how this is going to go on.
Right. Like, there's no point in looking at this as an evaluation of the draft class itself because you can't possibly do that this early. And we hate when people try. This is about excitement. That's all this is about. All right, so now we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers started off this draft with Najee Harris. That was a pretty exciting selection. How are you feeling about this one?
I gotta be real. I'm feeling a D on this one.
Yeah.
Najee Harris is an interesting pick. Bold pick.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
I don't know. I liked the Najee Harris pick, but the rest of it, they had some hits, some misses. I like their Quincy Roche selection. Yeah, that's about it.
That's really it. I mean, I think that Pat Freiermuth is interesting for them as just a hard-nosed Steelers linebacker, or excuse me, tight end. But I don't know how well he's going to work out, right?
They also drafted
rookie tight ends.
They also drafted Isaiah Loudermilk way too high, and that immediately shot down my excitement for this draft.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair too. All right, next up we got the San Francisco 49ers starting off with Trey Lance. They also got Aaron Brooks in the second round, Ambry Thomas, Trey Sermon, and anybody notable in the third day would be probably Elijah Mitchell. That might be it. Oh no, Talanoa Hufanga as well out of USC. So I don't know. I am actually a little excited about this class. I know we probably won't see Trey Lance in 2021, but Trey Sermon I think is going to be a lot of fun in that offense, and he'll get a lot of opportunities there. Ambry Thomas is a good pickup. Talanoa Hufanga is going to be awesome.
Talanoa Hufanga is going to be amazing in the defense.
Yeah. So I'm kind of leaning a B on this one, like a high B.
Let's do it.
Next up, we have do you have anything about this draft class first?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just think Talanoa Hufanga is a great pick. Trey Lance is going to be exciting. I'm excited that they didn't screw it up.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at
this one.
Yeah.
This is arguably my favorite draft class of the entire thing.
Very nice. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that.
Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips.
Talk about the Miami Dolphins, by the way.
Yeah, Miami Dolphins. Yeah, sorry. Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, of course, was arguably my favorite selection. He's going to turn into an All-Pro in that draft class. Yeah, it's just all through and through. They also drafted Garrett Doak, shout out who we talked about earlier. I'm trying to think of. I don't have the classes in front of me. I'm trying to think.
Oh, they also. Yeah, I mean, getting Liam Eichenberg at 42nd overall. That's great for him. I mean, he was a potential first rounder, like a fringe first round guy. Hunter Long, the tight end. Who they also drafted at 81st overall in the third round. I mean, I really like their draft class. And Hunter Long, of course, from Boston College. I really like their draft class a lot. They also added in Larned Coleman, who I'm not super familiar with, but offensive lineman there in the 7th round. I mean, look, they really focused in on getting these selections in early on in the draft class. They had 2 selections in the first, 2 selections in the second, 1 selection in the third, and then 2 selections in the 7th. So they were really top heavy in this draft and walked away with 5 selections because of that, giving them an opportunity to really start to rebuild, particularly the offense with Liam Eichenberg, Hunter Long, and Jalen Waddle, but then also adding some really, 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 really outstanding pieces in Jalen Phillips as well as Javon Holland. So I'm very excited about this draft class as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got the Chicago Bears. Let's just put it in the S tier because it's where it belongs.
Man, okay, we need to move down one of these S tier teams.
Let's move down. Oh, Panthers is too good. We can't move the Panthers down.
The Browns is too good.
Man, maybe there's just 4 S tier drafts then.
Maybe so.
Or we move the Panthers down. Panthers are the only one. We can't move the Dolphins down. We can't move the Browns down. And we can't move the Bears. But either we just have those, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Cool. Yeah, you've got Justin Fields, of course.
So I looked up this article just to look up and figure out just have all the draft classes in front of me. And they ranked the Miami draft class as the 18th best draft class. With their favorite pick being Hunter Long.
Woof.
Just so random.
Some folks just are not as high on Javon Holland as you are.
No, I'm saying even then, the favorite pick should have been Jalen Waddle or Jalen Phillips or something.
Yeah, sure. That's true. Yeah, even the one that I was looking at, just to make sure I had all the draft classes too, it had the Miami Dolphins as a C+.
F them, Ross.
So, but yeah, I mean, look, Chicago had a great draft, right? They trade up, they get Justin Fields. They didn't really have to mortgage their future to do so. They grabbed Tevin Jenkins in the 2nd round to help shore up the offensive line. unfortunately, they then shot themselves in the foot immediately by releasing Charles Leno from the offensive line there, their starting left tackle. Then they go Larry Broom in the 5th round, Khalil Herbert in the 6th round, Daz Newsome in the 6th round, Thomas Graham in the 6th round. I mean, I like this draft class a lot, but starting off with Justin Fields, Tevin Jenkins, that alone for me is an S tier level excitement for this team. I'm very excited for Chicago.
I am as well.
No.
Let's see.
Next up, we have the Washington football team, still with the incorrect logo on this. But the Washington football team end up walking away with Jamin Davis early, Samuel Cosmi in the 2nd round, Benjamin St-Juste in the 3rd round, Dammy Brown in the 3rd round, John Bates in the 4th round, William Bradley King down at pick in the 7th. They grabbed Derek Forrest out of Cincinnati, Shaka Toney late. I like this draft class a lot. They took a lot of my favorite players, or a lot of the players that I really like in this draft class. I'd probably give this one an A in terms of how excited I am about it.
Washington?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, you're high on that one. I was thinking closer to a C, but
We can go B.
no,
Let's meet in the middle.
I'll give you this one.
I
I'll give you this one.
like Samuel Cosmi a lot. I like Benjamin St-Juste a lot. I like Dammy Brown a lot. John Bates a ton. Like, it's just this one I'm actually pretty excited about because they grabbed a bunch of those like underrated sleeper players that I really like. I mean, Samuel Cosmi was not an underrated sleeper player, but you know what I mean? Like, they grabbed a lot of players that I like. They didn't grab them at super sexy positions, right? Offensive line, tight end, stuff like that. But I still like very much what they did in this draft. Jamin Davis was a surprise to me only because I was expecting JOK there, but then we learned about the heart issues, or not heart issues, but the condition that they found and the heart problems that they found in their evaluations of him across the NFL being the reason why he plummeted. So I might have been excited with a different linebacker there. Like, if that would have been JOK, that would have been great. But I still like this draft class a lot.
Yeah, let's go with it.
Sweet. Next, we have the Detroit Lions. How are you feeling about this one?
Oh, I think this is an easy A for me.
I agree.
Yeah, I was a real big fan of it. They got a lot of good players. They got they got Penei Sewell, Levi Onwuzurike, Ali McNeil, really building those trenches.
Yeah.
Ife Malafonu I liked a lot. Amon-Ra St. Brown is gonna get 1,000 yards in that offense in the first year.
Mm-hmm.
As a 4th rounder, Derek Barnes was a good pick, and Jamar Jefferson I think is a good pick. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and I like the value they got with Derek Barnes there in the 4th round. Mm-hmm. I love the value they got there with an athletic linebacker that can tackle, and he still has some things to fix, but a lot of folks were kind of talking about him as a 2nd rounder, or maybe even a little bit higher, being somebody that was like potentially to watch at the bottom of the 1st round because he was raising. So thank goodness for the Detroit Lions that they didn't have to deal with Seattle coming through and drafting a 4th round linebacker in the 1st round. I think that really helped them out there.
This draft class screams value to me. They got value at every single pick.
Yeah, I agree. Next, we have the New York Giants: Kadarius Toney, Azeez Ojulari, Aaron Robinson, Rodarius Williams down at the end there. I mean, really, for me, the three, like half of this draft class is really outstanding. And that's Kadarius Toney, Azeez Ojulari, Aaron Robinson. The last 3 picks, I'm okay, but these are day 3 guys, right? This 4th, a 6th, and a 6th. Gary Brightwell was off some boards, or at least really deep on some boards in terms of analyst boards and stuff like that. But I loved, Dave Gettleman trading back for the first time ever.
And he did it like 18 times.
Right. And it was pretty dope for him. So I'm all about it. I would probably give this one either a B or a C.
I was leaning towards an A for this one. I really like this draft class. Kadarius Toney. I loved the Azeez Ojulari pick. Aaron Robinson is a great nickel corner. Ellerson Smith even. I
like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I won't do Brandon like that.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up, New Orleans Saints. They lead off with Peyton Turner. Then they circle back around and add Pete Werner, the linebacker out of Ohio State. Then they grab cornerback Paulson Adebo in the third round. Then they turned around and ended up getting Ian Book at 133 in the fourth round, which is a little bit of a surprise selection. And then late in the sixth and seventh, they grab another couple of pieces there and Landon Young as well as Kawan Baker. I'm excited about this draft class a little bit, but I would say I'm super excited about it. Would you? I mean, like, I'm excited about it because, like, this is a team that I like, but you know what I mean?
In terms of excitement, yeah. Of course, we're going to be more excited than most people. Looking bias aside, this is probably like a C.
I was thinking a C as well.
A lot of, like, people who are going to be contributing for a long time, but no one that's like jumps off the board as like a crazy value or anything like that.
Yeah. Pete Werner, I think, is a perfect example of that, right? Like, he'll be a guy that'll be in the NFL for years, probably. I mean, like 8, 9, 10 years. But he's not going to be the super exciting selection or anything like that, I don't think. All right. This one's all yours.
Oh, Buffalo Bills. Ross, what was the big thing that everyone said every time you mentioned the Buffalo Bills? What was the big thing that they couldn't do?
Get pressure on the quarterback.
And you know what they said? You know what they said going to this year, Ross? They said, "Oh, okay, bet." And they drafted and then they sent they're like, "Okay, yeah. Let's draft Greg Rousseau and Carlos Boogie Basham with our first 2 picks." And then they're like, then everyone's like, all right, well, you also have a problem, protecting the quarterback, on the edges. All right, let's draft 2 tackles with our next 2 picks, Ross. Mm-hmm. And then, they drafted some people to fill out. I really loved the Jack Anderson in round 7 pick. Mm-hmm. Rashad Wildgoose was a surprising pick, but not what I'm mad at. Damar Hamlin even.
I like Damar Hamlin a lot.
I like this draft class a lot. It excites me in that they fixed the issues. Like, they addressed it. Mm-hmm. They addressed needs. And they're like, all right, yeah, I don't care what the optics of picking 2 pass rushers are back to back. We're going to go ahead and do it because that's what we need.
Yeah. And it was smart. I mean, it was very smart of them to do so. You look at Buffalo doing exactly that. And it's, you see them going at 30 and then at 61. With these edge rushers, so not very far apart, first and second round, and then third and fifth rounds for these tackles. They said, "Hey, we have 2 big problems that we need to address," and then they addressed them, and they doubled up at those positions, which I thought was really smart.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was really smart. Next, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs. Pick 258. So we have to remember that the first round selection went to the the Baltimore Ravens in exchange for Orlando Brown. So they shored up one of their tackle positions there, the left tackle spot. Then in the second round, they grabbed Nick Bolton, the linebacker out of Missouri. Then at 63, just a few picks later, they go with Creed Humphrey, the interior offensive lineman. Then we've got Joshua Kando, Noah Gray, Cornell Powell, Trey Smith at the end of this draft. So the people that I'm really most excited about here, I love the selection of Nick Bolton at this place and for Kansas City because they've struggled at the second level. Just in terms of individual talent, they've always won despite it. It doesn't matter, but they've struggled a little bit there in terms of individual talent. Nick Bolton brings you some of that. You continue to shore up the offensive line with a guy like Creed Humphrey, but then you potentially really get to shore up the offensive line if Trey Smith pans out, because Trey Smith is an extremely talented player when healthy, but has been dinged a lot throughout this draft process because of the blood clots and certain issues that he has had with health. But if he's healthy, he's an incredibly, incredibly solid player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm feeling, I don't know, it's just weird. This draft class is a good draft class, but it doesn't really excite me, honestly. I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to see Creed Humphrey take the field.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the player that you would be most excited about would be Nick Bolton, and then opposite that, I don't think that there's anything else that would be really super exciting about what they did. I'm excited about Trey Smith on a personal level just because I think his story is incredible, and I'm so excited that he's in the NFL. But that's me like putting Trey Smith's story at an S, but not necessarily this draft class. So I would say a C for this draft class.
Yeah. And I moved the Seahawks down just in comparison with the rest of them.
Good.
Just
good.
Yeah.
I love it. Philadelphia Eagles.
Philly Eagles. They had an itch. How do you feel about Devonta Smith? What are your feelings on him going into the NFL?
I like him. I'm excited to see how he pans out in particular. I mean, I think that there's a lot of like question marks for him. I know that, within that division, though, he's going to get a lot of opportunity.
We mentioned before, despite the fans' initial reactions, we were excited about the Milton Williams pick. We like the Milton Williams pick. Zach McPherson is going to be interesting there. Taron Jackson late, Jacoby Stevens and Patrick Johnson late. A lot of people I like throughout this class. Kenneth Gainwell in round 5 is really good value to pair with Miles Sanders. So, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that there's a lot of exciting players here. I love the Milton Williams selection. I like that they got the receiver that they wanted. I mean, they got a receiver. We know they wanted one of 3. They got one of them. And I like the Kenneth Gainwell pick as well. I'm feeling like a B area for me on this one.
B area. All right. Then quickly, last but not least, Ross, we got the New England Patriots. Mac Jones, who? Christian Barmore, Ronnie Perkins, Ramondre Stevenson, Cam McGrone, Joshua Bledsoe, William Sherman, Trey Nixon, and Ross. They this CBS lists this as their best draft class.
Oh, very interesting.
Because I disagree.
I do disagree. This was probably not the best draft class.
I liked Christian Barmore.
I do like Christian Barmore. I mean, I do like the selections, but I don't think this is the greatest. Like, this is the best draft class.
Well, they had a round 1 grade on Ronnie Perkins.
Ah, okay, all right.
So that really adds to it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I like this draft class. I like Ronnie Perkins. I like Christian Barmore. Ramondre Stevenson is probably not my favorite. But I think that, he has some good skill there. So I don't know. I would kind of put this, for me, this is like a C, perhaps.
Yeah, I was feeling C or D for me. I'm just, All right, and that's it.
Well, it does it. Great. Right on time. Wrapping up, too. It's perfect.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We'll revisit this, I think, tomorrow, as well as we continue to go through and talk more about the NFL draft classes here. But tomorrow we'll be back at 5 p.m. Eastern time here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. We'll talk through some chances to make the playoffs for each NFL team, and we'll take a look at the NBA and update to what the NBA playoff picture is looking like, and whether or not LeBron James wants to participate in a play-in or not. So I have a lot to discuss there. Dylan, anything else before we wrap up today?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. We appreciate you, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time here on Dylan and Ross Sports 4